Welcome back to 2025 CPAC in National Harbor, Maryland. We are joined by the chairman of CPAC, the founder of the feast, Matt Schlapp. Thank you for having us.
I'm the guy who gets the bill. I don't know if I'm the founder of the feast.
He has to pay all the bills, so be generous. And thank you all, of course, for joining us here. Outstanding day one. We have Vice President Vance here. Also, the largest amount of media, I believe, at CPAC. I mean, the line to get our badges yesterday, just phenomenal. That's always good to see.
Sorry about that.
No.
Lines stink.
Hey, I will wait for it as long as it takes. We're known for covering rallies here, with Right Side Broadcasting. Now we're a live desk. But just give us some of your thoughts, your take on how this has not only grown domestically, but internationally, this wonderful organization.
You can see all these people speaking other languages, dressing a little differently. But we believe the same things, and it's been quite an amazing thing to be on all these different continents, talking about families, talking about faith, talking about the government doesn't have the answers. We have a prime minister here from Slovakia. We have a former prime minister from Poland. We'll have a president of Poland. We'll have a prime minister from Italy. We'll have opposition leaders from a slew of countries, from France to Spain. We have Eduardo Bolsonaro, the son of former President Jair Bolsonaro of Brazil. We'll have Javier Milei. It just goes on and on. That's just the international piece. And then you have all the people who are doing the great work here in America. I'm really impressed with this lineup. Vance, Elon Musk, the Speaker of the House, Pam Bondi, the Secretary of Energy. That's just the beginning.
Right.
So if people want to get up close and personal to their government, this is a great place to do it.
Well, it really is.
And I'm not selling it because we're pretty much sold out.
Exactly.
But you can watch it online.
You can watch it online. You can watch it right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network, covering it all. Kash Patel today being confirmed just
Big
really
deal.
Moments ago. How will that change the landscape of Washington, D.C.?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he popped by to say hi. And I think it's the most important part of the election is getting rid of the weaponization. We talked about we're for weaponization control. Right. We might not be for gun control, but we're for weaponization control. When it comes to things like investigations and stuff, our rights, it shouldn't have anything to do with what party we're in. By the way, most of these laws that they used to go after people, to prosecute people, you'll notice it's 80-20. They go after 80% Republicans, 20% Democrats, 80% MAGA or Trump supporters. That's the double check to know that there's a double cross, right?
Oh, exactly.
Which is they're being used to put us in jail, to harm us, to stop us from having opportunities.
How would you categorize it now? Is it the conservative movement, the populist movement, the freedom movement? I mean, so much of this really going throughout the world, and what a time for it, too, because you look at the 1980s, Ronald Reagan, John Paul II, Margaret Thatcher, they crushed the evil serpent of communism that seems to have come back up onto the top of the waters now. So you look at all these different, countries where CPAC is available and has reached out to people, but neighboring countries might be totalitarian, pending the continent you're on. So how important is it to the movement that this message gets out there?
Well, the first thing you bring up these names, it takes leaders. And Donald Trump is this unique leader. We have some other people who are unique leaders. They have something in common. Almost all of them are subject to lawfare. Right. That's the difference. They didn't try to put John Paul II in jail after he was Pope. Today, who would know if you were taking these people on? They do try to assassinate all these people. Almost every one of these people, Trump, Bolsonaro, the Prime Minister of Slovakia, they have to face assassination attempts. You have to face lawfare. You have to face them going after your children. So it takes a certain kind of leader to persevere over that. And I think it's biblical. God gives you leaders, and you can't really predict when it's going to happen. When it happens, you have to be really thankful, because you can people in a society can be lost with bad leadership. And Joe Biden in 4 years almost destroyed the whole country. You might argue he almost destroyed Western civilization because it was a fraud. The fraud was he was still in his right mind. And he wasn't. It was a lie.
Exactly.
Dangerous lie.
Right, and we saw that confirmed by Speaker Johnson when he first went to meet with him in the Oval Office. Of course, that took a long time to get there, and Speaker Johnson thought they were meeting just the two of them. Turned out to be with the Vice President, several other staffers. Yes. And then he asked them to leave, and then, of course, he was talking to him about, the reason I came down here, Mr. President, I wanted to talk about oil reserves and drill, baby, drill, all the, basically making us energy independent, and you got rid of all that liquid nitrogen exploration. He said, Mike, I didn't do that. and clearly said, sir, no, we can go get that from the secretary. You signed that to stop that. So clearly some cognitive decline. What's the biggest
That's an
difference?
Interesting story, scary story.
Yeah, isn't that? Yeah, it's fast. He was speaking about it recently. Now, what do you see as the biggest difference between the Biden administration and what's happening now the last 4 weeks of President Trump being back in office?
It's like whiplash,
right.
but like good whiplash.
Right.
The pain stopped. We have some common sense. And, the president's doing what he said he would do. He's keeping promises. It's one of his best things. When he speaks his mind, he intends to do it. He hardly ever just talks to talk. And it's very unique in politics to have someone like that. So, I've heard all these analogies. Every day's Christmas.
Right.
I'm so joyful because every day at 3 o'clock he signs those blue binders. I've been cynical on some of the stuff he said he's going to do. And I didn't know how this Doge thing was going to work. And wow, working pretty well.
Yeah, it's really
amazing
exposing.
what a little transparency does.
Well, very true. And we're going to have Elon Musk here at 4:15, give or take, to address the crowd on the main stage. How are you pleased with day one? Where are you looking to close with the goals of this conference? And where do you see CPAC going into the future?
Well, I do try to listen to God's direction in my life, and we do try to put CPAC before God in our planning, and we try to listen to people and use the brains God gave us. And so my guess is this global impact can't be accidental. Right. It must be part of our mission. So we'll probably expand upon that mission. We'll stay focused on America. We'll expand some of our marquee programs of ratings to rating Congress, companies and CEOs of companies. So many of them have pulled back from woke. They're going to get good scores from us. We're going to thank them for that. This rise of anti-Semitism on our campuses is really malign. We have to fight that. And we're going to raise a lot more money for our work overseas so that we can spread human rights. I would have said democracy a bit ago, but they've kind of ruined that word.
Right.
And but free people need to have a free government, free of corruption. We're going to work for that.
It's now the brand new Trump and Vance mandate, as we've seen overseas with Vice President Vance laying that out clearly to listen to their citizens, and CPAC does that best. Mr. Matt Schlapp, thank you for your time. Look forward to having you again in the near future.
Thanks for having such a great booth here.
Oh, absolutely.
We love your station.
Thank you
we love
so much.
the work you do, and thank you for being here.
Appreciate it very much. We'll see you very soon.
Great.